I'm Erik Bethel, and I represent the U.S. as the executive director on the board of the World Bank. But prior to doing this, I spent 25 years as a private equity professional in emerging markets. So I've touched on both worlds, and some of the remarks I'll make come from sort of a bifurcated way of thinking. Ziad earlier mentioned how to bring in commercial capital, and I think that without commercial capital, we're going to be continuing to talk about development work forever. And I think what we need to do is we need to recast the conversation. Africa, Latin America, South Asia, these are places where you can make money. These aren't just veritable charity cases. And we need to change and reframe the context. But put yourself in the mind frame for a second of an institutional investor. And I've had to do this multiple times. I sit in front of CalPERS or NYSERS or Texas Teachers or UTIMCO, and they say to me, why would I invest in emerging markets? Why would I invest in Africa? Why would I invest in Latin America? When you have currency risk, the deals are too small, so we have a concentration risk issue. We can't put, we're managing billions and billions of dollars, so I can't put $10 million into your little fund, right? So that's a problem. The funds themselves have problems because the deal sizes oftentimes are too small. And if you're Carlyle, you're only going to do very large deals. But if you're a smaller fund, well, you can't get money. Anyway, so these are a whole host of problems, not to mention the fact that exit is a difficult problem. So I think our job in the public sector is to fix a lot of these issues so that the private sector can come in and so that institutional investors will feel comfortable thinking of Africa, again, not as a charity case, but as a place to actually make money because it's valuable. Now, I'm going to mention a couple of things. So I talked about creating an enabling environment, and there are a ton of things that the World Bank does to do that. But I'm going to ask you guys for a second to think of an idea, and let me know what you think of this idea. The World Bank has a program where it trains central bankers. It's a very interesting program. Not many people know about it. But in effect, what the World Bank does is it takes in money from various central banks. I want to say the number is 52 or so around the world. And it manages this money. And it charges a very nominal fee, like a LIBOR plus nominal fee. And it uses that to train central bankers. So you have 52 or maybe 152 central bankers. One person's from Malawi, the next person's from Malaysia, the next person's from Egypt, and they're learning how to be good central bankers trained by the World Bank, right? Well, why can't the IFC or the World Bank broadly train private equity professionals to do that? So that you create a cadre of people that understand how to get deals done, how to find good opportunities, how to source them, how to exit. Because I think there's a real dearth of high-quality private equity fund managers in these markets. Anyway, the final point I'll make, and this is I just wanted to highlight the great work that USAID is doing. I just came back from Kenya last week, speaking at the AVCA, the AFCA event, which is Africa's largest private equity event. And sitting in the audience, interspersed in the audience, was roughly $1 trillion, that's a T trillion, of U.S. pension fund money. And they were brought there by USAID through a program called MEDA, MEDA in partnership with NASP, which is the National Association of Securities Professionals. So in many cases, it was the first time that the Chicago Teachers Pension Fund or NYSERS or whatever had been to Nairobi. And they said, wow, this is a good place to do business. So I'll close by saying I'm not a fan of the perpetual charity case. I think emerging markets are, they need dignity and they need jobs and they need private sector development. And we do that by recasting our thinking. So.
Thank you, and that is a great idea.